In the news this week, former Brexit Minister Lord Frost urges Boris Johnson to overhaul the online safety bill. The Institute urges Christians not to submit to pressure to self-censor on controversial topics. And the government blocks an attempt by secular humanists to include atheism in assemblies and religious education. Hello. Former Brexit Minister Lord Frost has urged Boris Johnson to prioritise an overhaul of the online safety bill. Writing in the Daily Telegraph, Lord Frost outlined the bill as one of three key issues which must be dealt with now. The bill will incentivise social media companies and search engines to restrict content which is legal but harmful to adults. The concept of harmful will be eventually laid out in secondary legislation, where the Secretary of State for Culture will be able to amend it with little parliamentary scrutiny. The Christian Institute has been warning that YouTube videos of sermons and expressing mainstream Christian views on Facebook and Twitter could be caught. Lord Frost called on the Prime Minister to bring forward only the uncontroversial elements and not to kill free speech and our tech industry with the rest. The NHS has been slammed for sidelining words such as women and female from online cancer guidance. Its website previously described ovarian cancer as one of the most common types of cancer in women, but now reads, anyone with ovaries can get ovarian cancer. The word women is still used in a list alongside trans men and non-binary people. Dr. Carleen Gribble of Western Sydney University warned that the desexing of language is making communications less clear, and when it comes to critical health issues, that has great potential to place the health and well-being of individuals at risk. The Christian Institute has urged Christians not to submit to pressure to be silent on topics such as marriage and abortion. Deputy Director Simon Calvert addressed the impact of self-censorship during a press conference on a new study called Perceptions on Self-Censorship, Confirming and Understanding the Chilling Effect. The paper analyses 4 case studies conducted in Germany, France, Colombia and Mexico to explore why Christians censor themselves. Mr. Calvert said if Christians speak well on controversial issues, it creates space for others in the public square to express similar views.
Informed evangelical Christians are asking us quite seriously, are there laws to prevent us expressing a Christian view about same-sex marriage or about the fact that a man cannot become a woman and so on? That's the level of self-censorship that we've reached, where people think that it must somehow be against the law to express these views. And of course it's not. And one of the things that the report says, and one of the things I want to strongly underline, is that certainly here in the UK, the law is almost always much better than the culture when it comes to free speech. The law is almost always strongly in favour of your freedom to speak, but the culture is not.
And finally, the government has blocked an attempt by humanists to include atheism in assemblies and religious education. In the House of Lords, Baroness Meacher and others had tabled amendments to the schools bill requiring non-faith academies to rename RE, religion and worldviews. Faith academies would also have been required to provide worldviews lessons for students whose parents had opted out of religious education. Baroness Fox said she feared the requirements for alternative assemblies would become a secular version of religion.
I would like to see a greater understanding of the traditions, the history, the philosophy of religion, if anything. And then just finally, I worry, I suppose, about some of the kind of comments that were made that assumed that people of faith, or introducing pupils to faith, or within faith schools, for example, equals indoctrination. I think that's the wrong way to see it. I also think it's wrong to associate religion with extremism per se, or to imagine the problems of political extremism that we might see in society are to do with religion. Goodness knows there's plenty of secular extremism about. And I also think we should be concerned about a mood of intolerance of Christianity, or even a squeamishness about people feeling that they are embarrassed by Christianity in this country. I don't think that's particularly helpful.
Speaking for the government, Baroness Penn said changes to assemblies were not necessary, as pluralistic teaching already takes place across other areas of school life. The Institute's Daniela Martinez welcomed the government's stand.
Well, it's right and proper that the government should reject this attempt to secularise schools. Baroness Fox is completely correct in saying that we do have a problem with religious illiteracy in this country, and diluting what little religious teaching and exposure young people get is only going to exacerbate that. Some of these amendments really do seem to undermine the faith distinctive of faith schools, and that is a distinctiveness that is appreciated by many parents, not just parents from faith backgrounds. And these are parents who choose to send their children to a school with a Christian foundation.
Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.